is Fox 10 Talks. I'm Ron Hoon. The image on your screen, this is definitely an example of a picture is worth 1,000 words. Can you imagine the heat that was coming off this bus after it caught fire last night? And it actually took quite a while, as you can well imagine, to get the whole scene cleared. First, to get that fire knocked down, and then to get the scene cleared as well. We've got some video, and I'm going to tell you just a little bit more about it. So there it is. And you can see firefighters are keeping their distance. They've got a good stream of water going on this bus that caught fire. But, yeah, nobody's going to get too close to that. And, of course, you're dealing, as you probably know, with CNG, compressed natural gas. And so they had to be kind of cautious in terms of just how they responded to this. They wanted to get the fire knocked down, but of course the safety of anybody who might have been on the bus and our firefighters always is going to be job one. But from what I'm seeing, there were reports that even though this didn't happen until, you take a look at that timestamp, so 21:35, meaning 9:35 last night, and the blaze was just roaring away on this Valley Metro bus. Now, that's pretty interesting. You can see another firefighting unit pulling up right there. The fire itself broke out at about 9:15, and the video that you're looking at is from an ADOT cam at the 202 and Priest Drive. And there you see kind of some of the first doses of water as they did what they could to try to get this fire knocked down. Now, there's some good news here in that there are no reports of any injuries. A matter of fact, there were no reports of any passengers on board. It apparently was heading either to or from a maintenance facility. And, the driver obviously is going to exit the vehicle. But I think when you're dealing with CNG, with compressed natural gas, you just have to be especially cautious. So when the first images came out and we realized, boy, take a look over there to the right. You can see firefighters as well. Again, I'd say keeping you close to 100 feet distance. They're probably laying down some water lines right there for the fire hoses to continue to try to get this fire out. But yeah, you look at the timestamp now, we're at 21:42. And you get a pretty good feel for the fact that this was a firefight that they had on their hands. And again, the only good news to come out of this whole thing, nobody hurt, just the driver on board. It was late enough at night. It was not a regular route. It apparently involved getting either to or from a maintenance facility. But if you're watching and you're just not familiar with it, if you get off the 202 freeway right here, this is going to be one of the main exits to get you into the city of Tempe. And you're actually really close to where the exit is for Sky Harbor Airport. So people could see the smoke and the flames for quite a while, but it didn't have any kind of an impact on airport traffic coming and going, either the vehicles that might have been nearby trying to catch a late night flight or somebody coming home from an evening flight, and no reports of any kind of trouble with the airlines either, because you would have been flying, those of you who are familiar with the flight pattern at Sky Harbor, you would have been flying basically right over this area. So kudos for sure to firefighters in terms of how they managed to get this fire out last night out there at the 202 freeway and Priest in Tempe. So good morning to all of our regular viewers. Let me just look and see who's saying hi here this morning. Mike is saying, at least it's not one of those electric buses with those huge lithium battery deals. That would have been a nightmare. That's a really good point. Some of those fires are so tough just on a private vehicle to get a fire knocked down. And yeah, for sure. So just looking at some of the others, Brandy is saying hi, and Thomas Brown is on this morning. Hey, Thomas. Nice to hear from you. If this is your first time watching, we are on every morning at 10 a.m. with Syleste, who is pretty well known to invade my personal space.
If this is your first time watching, you're welcome.
What was that, Syleste?
If this is your first time watching, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, that's a pretty good sign. Things could be a little out of control this morning. But Syleste is here, and we're going to check in with her once she gets all of her computer situation all resolved. Let's talk about a high-profile. In fact, I think this has the potential to be one of the most watched, most talked about murder cases in the Valley now that it's finally going to trial in many, many years. I am talking, of course, about the Allison Feldman murder case. This comes out of Scottsdale. If you're watching not from here in the Valley, but other parts of the country, Ian Mitchum, or Ian, he likes to be called Ian instead of maybe the more common pronunciation of Ian. He is accused, and it's hard to believe, but this case stretches back 10 years in the murder of a 31-year-old woman who was living in a house in Scottsdale. He was first charged back in 2018, but then that set up this huge legal battle. And by the way, we're efforting one of our top legal experts here in the Valley to come in and talk to us about this case in the next day or two. But there was this huge battle over DNA. It was the attorney for the accused here says that the DNA was taken from him in an unrelated DUI case, and so therefore it couldn't be submitted to link him to the murder. But, I mean, we've all seen CSI, and we've all kind of educated ourselves on the techniques now that are being used. And so it went all the way up to the state Supreme Court, and they did rule, hey, the DNA is admissible. And it did clear the way for trial to begin. Syleste, I have heard that they are thinking that just jury selection, which began yesterday, could go for weeks as they try to get an impartial jury. It's such a high-profile case that, we covered it on a nearly daily basis back in 2015, the murder of Allison, whose picture you see right there on screen. And it was so long before even an arrest was announced.
Well, and I think, for a lot of people, it wasn't one of the first times that they were able to use DNA, familial DNA. That whole thing kind of came into question. Yeah. It was DNA that they had collected from like a prior DUI arrest, when normally a lot of that is then disposed of, but coincidentally they had it. And so that was kind of the tie-up and maybe why it's taken extra long to maybe look into it. But you're right. When this initially happened, it wasn't just a story that we covered here in Arizona, but there was a lot of recognition nationwide, especially with the tie-in with that familial DNA.
Sure.
And them using his brother's also DNA to link, to kind of as a secondary source, confirm his involvement with that tie to the DNA, the familial DNA with him and his brother.
Yeah, I think it was a groundbreaking case. There's no doubt about it. Then there's another case that was more on the back burner. It was a cold case that I think maybe a lot of people thought was never going to be solved. It goes back, 8 years, 2017, a suspected killer caught south of the border. Phoenix police making the announcement that the suspect in this case had been on the run for 8 years. Evan Paulus was killed in June of 2017, and they had he was driving in a car with his neighbor, Michael Arredondo, and the two had gotten into a fight. Arredondo reportedly stabbed his victim 30 times, then ran off to California. The vehicle found in Anaheim, but he had vanished, and what do you know? Apparently he had fled south of the border and managed to stay down there for years. But we had a chance to talk with family members, and here's some of the victim, and here's some of what they were saying.
Yeah, both my brothers, and this is their picture. It's faded out. It's been 8 years. I had to basically kind of hold my grief in just so I can make everything normal for my mom and my dad to kind of like be okay, later on, moving on down the road, because we're still here, That's the one thing that keeps me thinking about that is how he killed them. That's why I can't get over it, because it's literally like flashes in my head. I didn't see it myself, but I'm just imagining all the stab wounds, every single one. It's a relief, don't get me wrong, it's a relief. It gives us a little bit of peace, but not bringing my brother back. You know, he gave my brother a one-way ticket to heaven, so hey, I'm not mad at that. I'm just disappointed at how humanity is. At least we're a little bit at peace. I could let go of the anger that I've had for so long and just, you know, try to concentrate on life.
Again, it's an ongoing investigation, but he provided a statement that there was some type of altercation between the two, and Evan was stabbed.
Did he say he stabbed him?
Yes. With the passage of time, we're still looking for you, we're still hunting you down, and then eventually justice is going to take its course.
Wow. I mean, how difficult would that be? You have your faith that you've relied on for years, but to have to really rely on it, and she's speaking through tears, Syleste.
Yeah.
She is saying, he gave my brother a one-way ticket to heaven. Yeah, I just think it's just a situation that is just almost too hard to really imagine.
Oh my goodness, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's an interesting case too on how U.S. Marshals were able to help in the search for this man.
Yeah.
And that someone in another country, they spotted him.
Yeah.
And were able to tell the authorities.
Right.
You know, it just
it was all a post on. It was a GoFundMe.
A GoFundMe, and somebody in Mexico sent some sort of a response or an email. Hey, I think I know where this guy is, and I just thought that was pretty incredible that there was someone in another country who then responded.
Yeah.
And then authorities here reacted to that response, and then we're able to get the U.S. Marshals involved.
And when you think about it, with a GoFundMe, you know, usually those are set up for the immediate needs of the family after a tragedy's happened.
Yeah.
You know, in a matter of weeks or months. But here's a GoFundMe that no doubt had been set up years ago. But the fact is, they're still online. Somebody runs across it all those years later and says, "I think I can help crack this case."
That's incredible.
It really is incredible. Okay, so we have a break coming up, a chance for you to look at the mystery cam in about 5 seconds. But I just want to say right now, we're so excited to have Kinsey Schofield. You have seen her on all the national shows. She, by the way, gets that applause from Syleste. We love Kins around
We
here.
do. We miss her.
Yeah, we miss her like crazy. She used to work right here at Fox 10. She's coming up after a quick commercial break to talk all about all the doings with the royal family. But first, our mystery cam, ladies and gentlemen, has this airport. Where do you think it is? Hi, everybody. It's Ron and Celeste with our streaming show on YouTube. Folks jumping on the chat today, Celeste, both with their guesses and just talking about how their morning is going so far.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a beautiful shot on the mystery camera. We've got a Minnesota from Lil Philosophy.
Yes.
B. Miguel says Colorado. We've got a Georgia from Brandy the Bookworm. And Halakita says Wisconsin, which I think could be a good one. I was looking at the greenery with the trees down in the foreground, but on the other side of the airport, there's some, it looks like some fall colors sprinkled throughout.
I know. So first you said Texas, and then you thought, the fall colors already happening. Not so much in the foreground, but off in the distance. Seems like it's kind of a breezy day today. I just, in the last couple of months, I've flown out of the Minneapolis airport. I think it's bigger than that. It could be one of your other, locations.
Yeah.
In Minnesota. A Mankato. Possibly.
Maybe Mankato.
Or a Duluth. Okay, so what are you going to go with?
I'm going to go with like an Alabama.
All right. I am going to go with, and there's an American plane.
Okay.
So we've seen a Southwest and an American.
Okay.
This is making me think more like regionally in the South or.
What did I say?
Midwest.
Alabama? Is that what I said?
Celeste.
Georgia.
I can't remember what I said 10 seconds
What's
ago.
my name? What's my name? There's a bird. Look at the bird.
Okay. I think I'm going to go Oklahoma. Keep it close to Texas. But
Okay.
not quite.
All right. We've got a Kentucky from Michael Edward Donovan. Here is your
Here we go.
mystery camera answer.
Dun, dun, dun.
Cudahy, Wisconsin.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah. So somebody said Wisconsin. Halakita says
So
Wisconsin.
Good. Way to go, Halakita. I'm
Halakita,
wondering if that's the
Halakita.
suburb for the Milwaukee airport or for Madison or for Green Bay. We're going to have to look it up.
Yeah, let's do
But
it.
we don't have time right now to get on our phones and check Google Maps because, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on our streaming show, it's the person who needs no introduction. There she is with that great smile, Kinsey Schofield.
How are you? We've missed you.
It seems like we were working
my
with
gosh.
you
Hooner
2
and
weeks
Celeste,
ago.
I'm so excited to see the both of you. And when Ron said Kins earlier, my heart melted because he used to call me Kins around the newsroom. I
Yes,
love
I
that. Thank you so
know.
much for having me.
You used to sit right by us in the newsroom.
So great.
I did, doing kind of what you're doing.
Yes, I
right?
know.
Yeah. So it's just great. So we're so glad to have you here, and you are really considered, I think, in the world, one of the top experts on the royal family. So let's dig right into it and tell us a little bit about this showdown. Now, we're going to talk because the Virginia Guffrey book has come out today and some of the allegations against Prince Andrew. But let's take one step back and talk about this showdown between the king himself, King Charles, and Prince Andrew, if he even is a prince anymore. What have you learned about it all?
All right, so it's newly revealed emails from 2011 that devastated ultimately relations between the king and his brother, Prince Andrew. It's February 28th, 2011, and this email is attributed to Prince Andrew because it's signed HRH, the Duke of York, KG. And in it, he writes to Jeffrey Epstein, "It would seem we are in this together. Keep in close touch and we'll play some more soon. And I'm just as concerned for you. Don't worry about me." The reason that this means anything to us today is because it contradicts Andrew's previous claim back in 2010 when he sat down with the BBC and did that disastrous Newsnight interview that he had severed ties with Epstein in December 2010. And what's so interesting is if you look at the timeline, this email came the day after a photograph was published in 2011 showing Prince Andrew with his arm around Virginia Giuffre, his accuser, when she was allegedly she was underage, but allegedly within the Epstein network. So that's really where trust and credibility for Prince Andrew was really lost, specifically when it comes to King Charles. They realized, I mean, if you're capable of lying about this, what else are you capable of lying about? And the king, and I understand Prince William as well, really pressured him to voluntarily give up his title. He's still a prince by birth, but he has given up his titles and some of his honors. And honestly, Ron and Celeste, I think that this is a way for them to show accountability now. But in case things get worse, they can go to Parliament for him to legally lose those titles. So I honestly feel like this is a tier situation where they've dealt with it a tiny bit now, but there are still steps in case there is growing anger in the public surrounding this scandal, so that they still have options as to how they can hold him accountable in the future.
So let's say, Kins, that he actually loses his title eventually. What does that mean? I mean, for, I guess, the rest of us without these fancy titles, you know, put it in perspective if you can. Is it just a loss of merely, you know, the royal title, or are there deeper consequences there?
Well, I mean, there could potentially be deeper consequences because Prince Andrew is now under investigation by London's Metropolitan Police after some of those leaked emails suggested he had a taxpayer-funded bodyguard dig up personal information on his accuser, Virginia Giuffre. The emails sent around the release of the photograph alleged that he passed on her date of birth and social security number to his bodyguard. And authorities are now saying in the UK that they are actively looking into the claims. The reason why this is newsworthy is because there are multiple UK laws that might apply involving unlawfully obtaining or disclosing personal data. So he could actually be in trouble with the law, have to pay a fine, potentially jail time, but let's be realistic. I doubt it. I mean, the reality is Prince Andrew still is in possession of a 30-bedroom mansion on the Windsor estate. He has his title by law, and I would suggest that the removal of his title is primarily theatrical to stop the bleeding when it comes to this royal PR crisis. Do I think that Prince William as king will be more aggressive? Yes, I do think he will push Prince Andrew into exile. But King Charles is currently battling cancer, and he has a very soft heart. I just don't think he has the energy to fight his brother in the way that potentially Prince William would.
Would you say in this new book that has now come out, I'm just looking at some of the clips from it, just like Cinderella, I was going to meet a handsome prince, Virginia writes, recalling the shopping spree that Ghislaine Maxwell took her on. Her old friend Prince Andrew would be dining with us that night, but then it takes a dark turn to where she says she felt forced into a number of different sexual acts. What have you seen coming out of this book that to you are the biggest and maybe the most shocking headlines?
I mean, obviously, I never in my life wanted to imagine the prince in those situations. I mean, the Ghislaine Maxwell telling Virginia that the prince had fun the next day. You know, thank you. The prince had fun the next day. I thought that was pretty revolting. That I believe happens after the first encounter. There are 3 alleged encounters that happen throughout this book with Prince Andrew. One involves Virginia and multiple women. So of course, we thank God that Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen Elizabeth, isn't here to have to deal with some of those headlines, because I know that she would be horrified. But really just the entitlement. She says that she felt like Prince Andrew felt it was his birthright to have his way with her. That's revolting. So just the entitlement and the dismissiveness of Andrew, if this is true, and we should stress that Prince Andrew says that none of this is true. I mean, and he's not been found guilty of anything legally, but people have a hard time accepting that when he paid her such a significant amount of money to make the lawsuit go away.
So we have a question from our chat here on YouTube. Halakita asks, Kinsey, does he lose his privileges as a royal, maybe lose his security, or does he lose money if he loses his title?
So he was cut off financially when he gave up his official role as a senior working member of the British royal family. And one of the reasons why they have been trying to move him out of Royal Lodge, the home he's in now, and according to his lease, he can stay in until he's 118 years old. They were trying to move him out of Royal Lodge and into Harry and Meghan's old home, Frogmore Cottage, on the same estate. And the reason for that was, aside from it, it being a more reasonable space, not the 30 bedrooms, it was within the Windsor perimeter where the royals are already securing it. And where he is at, it requires extra, very expensive security. I don't believe that the royal family continues to pay for his security. I do think that he's had to take that on himself. And there's a big debate as to how he is financing that. He used to have this campaign called Pitch the Palace, where he would introduce entrepreneurs to people that worked in finance that could finance some of these projects. And I know that he still works with some of those people and makes introductions overseas, and he's paid to make those introductions. I know that that's one of the ways that he continues to make money. So he doesn't earn, or he doesn't get money from the privy purse. He doesn't get money from the royal family. If he loses his titles, it really is just about not having the privilege of being seen as a royal anymore. That's why I say it feels very theatrical, more so than effective, like an effective punishment.
Okay, we've only got a minute left. So
Oh, no.
One question here.
Can you hang out with us the rest of the morning, Kens? Come on.
She has never changed. She's still trying to produce from the set, Kens. Anyway, let me squeeze it in real quick. With Will and Kate, this interview that Kate just gave, where she just about had given up that William was ever going to pop the question. That was quite a story, huh?
It's cute. And Katie Nichol from Vanity Fair correspondent Katie Nichol got this scoop. It's a sweet story, actually. And honestly, if you think about it, especially in comparison to Harry and Meghan, Prince William waited a decade, to ask the Princess of Wales, Catherine, to marry him. And it really, you have to sit back and think about the struggles that Princess Diana and Prince Charles, now King Charles, went through. I think that Prince William was overly cautious after seeing how chaotic his parents' marriage was. He just sat down with Eugene Levy on The Reluctant Traveler and said, I will not make the same mistakes my parents made. And I think that was demonstrated in the fact that he waited so long to ask Catherine to marry him and wanted to ensure that she was the right person for the job. And she clearly is. Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. All right, Kens, we've already wrapped up our time with you. Celeste wants more time. It just means we're going to call you here in a few days with more interview requests.
We miss you.
I miss you too. Thank you so much.
Okay.
You look amazing, by the way. Thank you for joining us.
Sure miss Kens in the newsroom, that's for sure. Okay, time for a break, and we'll be right back with more on our streaming show. It's Fox 10 Talks. right, we all know where that is. That's for sure. Catalina. I've never been to Catalina.
Oh, you haven't?
Have you?
I have.
Yeah.
We didn't stay there for a long amount of time, so
Yeah.
I don't know all the little boutiques and restaurants, but we've driven through many times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just kind of checking it out on a little scenic drive around SoCal.
How long is the boat ride to get over there?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay. I mean, you were on your own trip here,
Well,
right?
yeah, but it's been some time.
Okay.
You know, when you have 3 kids, Ron, your life is like...
You're like, was that 5 minutes or 2 hours?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's because I'm dealing with kids fighting and screaming in the back, wanting snacks and drinks. I don't remember, but it's been a long time, but it's a beautiful place.
Hey, we have something we do here on the streaming show, Fox 10 Talks, called the Poll Q Re-Q. When we get an overwhelming response to our poll question the day before, we want to take one last look back at it. And so here we go, Celeste. 6,800 votes. We asked a simple question coming out of the weekend protest. Does President Trump think he's a king?
So the answer, no, he's just a strong leader. 47% of you say that. He does. We're becoming an authoritarian country. 45% of you. So nearly split. Yeah. Yes and no on this topic.
All right. And 8% said probably not, but sometimes he acts like it. Now, that was YouTube. Here's what it looked like on our QR code. And 70% of you on QR, which this is more of our actual audience that watches our streaming show. 70% saying no, he's just a strong leader. 28% say yes, we're becoming an authoritarian country. So with that in mind, we are now going to launch today's poll question.
Yes.
If you are ready, there have been some new developments on all of that. Oh, by the way, there was one other thing I wanted to mention since it's 10:30. If you haven't had the chance yet, we would love it if you would like and subscribe to Fox 10 Phoenix on YouTube.
Now, Lily, our graphics artist, she put together this very fancy graphic.
Super fancy.
Yeah, so great job to Lily. And great job to all of you who are actually following directions and liking and subscribing.
We have hundreds of thousands of people who have now subscribed to our YouTube channel. And so once you subscribe, then you can get an alert every day and you never miss Ron and Celeste or Ty and Anita or me and Des.
That's right.
Okay, so just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. In the meantime, what's going on in Washington? My understanding is we're on the verge here at almost any time for a big showdown at the White House. It's not really a showdown. That's not the right phrase to use, that's for sure. But
battle.
Yeah, I think that's a good
street fight.
Yeah, well,
alley fight.
No, because it's the Republicans coming to the White House. No alley fighting. It's John Thune from South Dakota. I don't know if he's ever been in a single fight in his life.
Oh, my goodness. He's such a gentle soul.
There you are. Very snappily dressed guy. Here's what he had to say about getting ready to meet with the president on the government shutdown.
That I support,
Hakeem Jeffries.
because it appears to be more like a political ploy to pick and choose.
Okay, so Hakeem Jeffries right there talking just a little bit about it. And then let's roll this sound as well for you.
Well, we're kind of right now.
No, hold on. Stand by, everybody. That's for later. That's Michael Crow. It's tough to get an interview with him, but we got one yesterday.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about that later in the show.
He's kind of a big wig. You know, when he first came to Arizona State University, that is when we kind of saw the big boom. Right. He was really instrumental on launching the downtown campus and the Cronkite School. Yep. He's been really instrumental on all of the growth we've seen on the main campus. Yep. And he's been really great at fundraising.
I think he's got to be considered one of the most influential university presidents in the country.
Probably. I wonder if he's going to run for governor.
Really?
Ron?
Celeste?
I don't know. I mean, I was thinking
he has.
He probably makes more money.
Okay. All right. So anyway, today's poll question has to do with the government shutdown and what with the Republicans meeting with the president and growing pressure on them to maybe cut some kind of a deal. Here's what the poll question today looks like. Time to cut a deal. Only 3% say no. Get the government reopened, then work on Obamacare. 58% are saying no and dump Obamacare. Come up with a new plan that's maybe not as expensive. And 39% say yes. Work with Democrats, all sides compromise. How's it looking on YouTube, Celeste?
On YouTube, we've got 728 votes. 56% say yes, work with Democrats. So slightly higher number than the 39% that we're seeing on the other poll that is mainly our television viewing audience. No and dump Obamacare, come up with a new plan. 27% say that. And no, get the government reopened, then work on Obamacare, 17%. We're nearing kind of a time, I think, in history where the government has never been shut down this long.
Yeah, we're basically at the second longest.
We're at the second longest right now,
And a lot of people are saying, well, it's not, up until maybe there are problems at the airports, a lot of people are saying it's really not, I don't feel the impact.
Yeah, and
on
I
a
wonder,
day-to-day basis.
Initially they talked about even more job cuts or layoffs.
Yeah.
And I wonder
Well,
if we've seen more of those.
No, I'm not going to allow that.
You know.
They're right. There was a judge that came in.
Yeah.
Let's go to Dave. He's got the comments to advance the conversation. What do you see in Dave?
That's right. Lots of comments already. Frank in Flagstaff says both sides have forgotten they work for us. Do what we all do. Find the middle ground that benefits the most people. Barry in Heber says the last major increase in health care was 2010 when the ACA was started. It is the ACA that causes the problem. Stop the ACA. Stop the medical and pharmaceutical companies from buying politicians. Rick and Kelly 1 says this is not the time to work with Democrats. This should never have happened. This is Schumer bending to the far left of his party. No compromising here. There will be time for that after things get opened up. And Nothing 0873 excuse me, says there is no compromising with the Democrats. They want $1 trillion in new spending. This administration is wanting to balance the budget, not blow it up. Really interesting comments, very insightful on all sides. We love the conversation. Keep it up, guys.
I don't know about you, Dave, but I just love the idea that Barry in Heber is watching.
I love that.
And Heber. I love Heber.
Yes.
Heber
And if we could play music here on YouTube, we would play that song, Let Me Clear My Throat.
There you go. Well, we're looking for highlights this week on the show. Maybe Dave's throat clearing qualifies.
If he puts a big chain with a $sign at the bottom and then he starts rapping in the middle of the newsroom.
By the way, we have a dentist joining us.
Hi.
I know. It looks like
good morning.
Florence Nightingale.
I know. She's
not a
beautiful.
dentist so much.
And look at her smile, Ron.
Okay. Oh, it's Princess Leia. You put some work into this.
You know, you don't roll out of bed looking like Leia, but
No.
I gave it my best shot.
I'm going to push this microphone right up. Go ahead and work that mic like it's a radio show.
You got it.
Okay, Dr. Heather, thank you for joining us
Good
today.
morning.
It's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much.
We're going to help all parents get through Halloween with the advice I think that you have for everybody.
Yeah, it's true. The reality is not all candy is created equally, and we want to talk about that a little bit, right?
Okay, let's do it. Let's jump right into it. You came out with a list of the best to the worst.
It's true.
So do you want to start at the worst end or the best end?
Let's start at the best end.
Okay,
Let's give people some hope.
Okay, good. I love
Sugar-free
it.
candy,
Yes.
of course, is something that we want to see in kids' Halloween buckets, but it's not likely. Sugar-free gum is a really great one because it helps to get the debris out of the nooks and crannies of the teeth. If it contains xylitol, that's something that really balances the pH of the mouth and really fights
So
that.
it's almost kind of good for you.
It is.
Okay.
It fights the cavity-causing bacteria.
Right.
And then, interesting enough, next on the list, I would say, is dark chocolate. And the interesting thing about dark chocolate is that it contains polyphenols, flavonoids, and antioxidants that actually also neutralize the pH of the mouth.
Okay, do you hear all the noise
Yeah, we've
here?
got
Celeste, what
candy.
Are you doing here?
Ron, we have
Candy noise.
Yeah, we have candy noise. So this is perfect because Dr. Heather brought candy in.
I did.
I think she's looking for some more business, Ron.
So it's a kind of a dual-edged sword when it
Job
comes to
security,
dentistry.
but
Job security. You're like, do not get rid of Halloween. Keep Halloween.
Okay, but back to your list. Okay, so
Yes.
sugar-free candy. Why is sugar-free candy twice as expensive as normal candy?
because it's good for you, and you know how it goes. It's
guess. Okay.
it's easier to get the stuff that
let's
causes trouble.
We only got 3.5 minutes left, so let's keep going through your list.
Yeah, so after dark chocolate, which I had mentioned, has flavonoids, antioxidants, and polyphenols that actually actually neutralizes the pH of the mouth, which gets rid of that bacteria causing cavities and things like that. Next down would be the milk chocolate. After that, I would say...
Did you say milk chocolate?
Milk chocolate. So it's still...
Even above dark chocolate?
No, right below dark chocolate.
Okay.
It has, a little bit more sugar than dark chocolate does, but nonetheless, it rinses off of your teeth pretty quickly. After that, I would say those pixie sticks, which not a great thing, dissolves fast, however.
Is Celeste distracting you?
Oh, yeah. She's making me nervous with all the sticky, chewy stuff, because that's on a naughty list,
I actually really do love the chewy stuff.
Oh, do you?
Well, here's the thing, Dr. Heather, is that unfortunately I'm allergic to chocolate.
Oh, no.
This happened about 13 years ago after the birth of my third child.
Okay.
And I don't know, something hormonal changed, and unfortunately I can't do chocolate. So now this
You've got a great excuse for taffy and caramel, all the good stuff.
Like the sugar daddies, those type of things.
So you can still consume those. You just want to make sure you're not doing it all day.
Limited,
Reserve
right?
it for
What is
after dinner
worst
treat.
on the list?
The sour sticky stuff. The sour,
right? Because it's
sour sticky
loaded
stuff.
with sugar.
It's loaded with sugar, but it's also highly acidic, and it's an acidic environment in the mouth that really allows that bad bacteria to flourish, and that's where your cavities.
What
bad
about
breath
those
come from.
sour grapes that have the candy on them? You know what I'm talking about in the freezer section?
I would put that in the sour candy list,
Yeah,
and they're a
they're
little
so
sticky,
good.
but good, right?
Yeah.
Just want to make sure you're at least rinsing with some water afterwards.
Well, with the minute or so we have left, give us some advice on how. So it's Halloween night. The kids have a whole bucket load full of candy.
Yeah.
How, as a mom or dad, do you kind of portion it out?
Bargain away the bad stuff for some of the good choices. Reserve some candy for arts and crafts. Repurpose chocolate for things like pies and cakes and cookies. Give them to the neighbors. Donate to charities. A lot of dentists do candy buyback. So there's that too.
That's a great idea. Utilizing some of the candy maybe in, let's say, like Christmas cookies or Christmas goods, or like crushing them up and putting them into like a Chex Mix type thing for the holidays for teachers and pretty it up with a jar and a ribbon or something.
Absolutely.
It's a great idea.
Okay.
Look at Dr. Heather coming through.
I know it.
Coming through. Thank you.
So,
Did you see her friend, Ron?
Yeah, sure.
I'm
Who'd you bring?
babysitting today.
She's
okay? I want to
babysitting.
start oral hygiene young.
Oh my gosh,
It's
the
really
baby
important.
Yoda's so cute in the movie. It's
Hold
so
up Yoda. We can't see Yoda. There we go.
Coming through.
Just seconds left. How can people find out more about you and your practice?
DeltaDentalAZ.com. We are a dental benefits carrier, and we are all about not just oral health, but whole body health, and really spreading the message that what happens in your mouth impacts your entire body.
Good.
Yeah, because there's you can actually like find all kinds of different things going on in your body in your mouth.
It's true. I mean, heart disease is still the #1 killer in the U.S.
We've got 5 seconds. I'm sorry. I'm on a different conversation.
No
here, Ron.
worries.
Okay, Celeste.
I could keep going with that one.
We're going to have you back, Princess
We'll be
Leia.
right back.
I would love that.
You know, the thing is, we're so conditioned now to guess where all of our cameras are. I don't know, but that's yet another new camera.
I don't know, like Missouri or something. That looks like one of those ferry boats that you'd see. I think for those of you who watch the Ozarks, they had that one of the. Did you ever watch that show, Ron?
Once. It was way too violent.
It's very
violent.
violent.
It is gratuitous, the violence.
It is very much so. But later on, I can't remember what season it was, they did start a casino. Oh, it's in Washington.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I was thinking Missouri. I was thinking we're going to see Mark Twain walking down the lawn there in a minute. But that's the Tri-Cities, Richland.
Very cool.
Who else is in the Tri-Cities, Des? Or Bella. Richland and Pasco and Kennewick. We're just doing our Washington trivia. That's super cool. A lot of people forget that the Columbia River flows right through Richland. So that's a big medical center there. By the way, since they were our arch rivals when I was in high school, Richland is where they have the Hanford Nuclear Works. Mm-hmm. So guess what the mascot is of the local high school? Unless they've PC'd it right out of business.
It.
Oh,
well, it's possible. I'll have to go look.
What was it?
The Richland Bombers.
Oh my gosh.
They're the Bombers.
I don't think there is anything wrong with that. Why is there something wrong with that?
Well, because they built real bombs there. But anyway. Okay, so you just heard the voice of Isabella.
Hi.
And we have plenty of stories to talk about this morning.
We do.
We start, you guys, with the Phoenix Zoo. Because the zoo lions I love these pictures.
Aww.
They're so cute.
But it's time to say goodbye to the lions at the Phoenix Zoo.
What? Well, do you know where they're going?
Where are they going, Celeste?
They're going to Miami. So
lucky them.
Oh, wow. I thought it'd be like the Serengeti.
No, I actually was thinking the song they should play for them as they get off is Welcome to Miami. Bienvenidos a Miami.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so they're playing that song for them. Apparently this has to do a lot with breeding. So a lot of the zoos around the world, obviously, they take in animals that are injured in the wild or they're rescuing them.
Right.
Or maybe a baby was left behind in the wild and the mom disappeared. And then the zoos take them in. Well, in this case, you have these two lions and they're going to be used for breeding purposes.
So we're sending these guys off for a breeding experience,
Ron,
Celeste.
it's like
in Miami.
It's
wow.
It's like
welcome to South Beach.
What is it? Like mail order brides? Remember that was a thing?
Yeah.
That's, you buy the bride, they come over.
Right.
That's kind of like this.
Okay.
The mail order
lions.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if these guys have any idea what's in store.
I don't think they can wrap their heads around what they're going to experience in Miami.
Okay. Well, anyway, they are saying their goodbyes. They are going to have a Miami Vice. I do like the fact that the zoo, that they're having a big going away party for them. It'll be this Sunday from 9 to 11. Guests are invited to join a Miami Vice themed going away party for the lions at the zoo. So anyway, all right. So we love the Phoenix Zoo, that's for sure. So, I got a little Tootsie Roll.
Again,
it's stuck in my
let me
throat.
clear my throat.
Yeah.
We need to pull that song out.
Yeah. Let's talk about tortillas in Texas.
I love tortillas.
I do too.
What was it? What do you love to eat tortillas with? Let's start with Bells. What do you love tortillas? And the chat is going to get fired up.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're fired up about the crown.
Can they be
They're
deep fried? Because I like a good crunchy, long rolled taco, almost like a taco stick.
Like
they used to have at Taco Time.
Yes.
Yes, Taco Time.
Yeah, you can
if
do that.
anybody's ever been to one of those.
Absolutely. You can do a fried.
Right.
How do you like tortillas, Bells?
Tacos and burritos.
Oh, yeah.
And enchiladas.
Flour or corn? Corn. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of both. What about you, Ron? Just like a Taco Time? Like a meat,
sure.
I think they're called like meat burritos, or what are they called?
Yeah, I
at
think
Taco
so.
Time. Like
yeah, but they're
Gary
rolled up.
Gary grew up on those in Washington.
Sure. Well, so why are we talking about it? In Texas, they're now banning their not their taco tradition, their tortilla tradition at Texas Tech University. We were talking about this yesterday. It's been a thing there for, I don't know, years and years, maybe decades. But now apparently they're too highfalutin. to keep the tradition
Well,
going.
I think they're like damaging people too, right? Getting smacked in the face
no,
or
these
something.
are soft-shelled tortillas. There's no fried, crispy ones. You're not going to like cut somebody.
I know.
You can't be injured by a flying
There's
tortilla.
just no more tortillas getting thrown at the field.
Yeah.
At the football field.
Right.
Well, that's boring.
So we're gonna stop.
It is boring, Bella. I'm
I
right
would
there with
not
you.
mind if someone slapped me with the tortilla. I would be okay. I feel like that's innocent, fun, and not dangerous.
Okay, so I loved it when a few years ago they had the tortilla chip drop into the dip at the New Year's Eve party in Tempe. Remember, it was all kind of tied into the celebrations for the football game.
It
and
was
everything.
the Tostitos tortilla chip thing,
Right.
Wow. They were the big sponsors for the New Year's.
Correct. You know, I mean, they have a crystal ball in New York City.
Yes.
They do
Why
a
can't
taco
we-
drop in Tucson on New Year's.
Did you cover that?
Yeah.
Yes. Sure, of course you did.
Yes.
It was the biggest event of the day.
It was.
So we have some good answers in here. So what best thing to do with the cheese with the tortilla? Cheese
good.
crisp by B. Miguel.
Okay.
Butter. Polly says, Polly, are you new to the feed? If you're not, we just love hearing from you. And if you are, welcome.
Yeah.
Linda Monter says green chili pork burritos. Oh, that's so good. And chicken quesadillas. Fresh tortillas are amazing. Brandy the Bookworm says with just a little bit of butter. Menudo rojo, which I love, little philosophy, so good. And that taco drop, according to Mike Fernandez, sounds fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Also, Emperor Van is saying he remembers growing up at the Rose Parade, throwing tortillas was fun.
Yeah.
And they banned it there, too. I'm
They
sure that
did.
started in California long before it ever hit Texas.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
But now, apparently, they got so fed up that the team was penalized not once but twice and fined by the Big 12 for throwing tortillas onto the field in their game against Kansas. Now, we all know Texas Tech is good, but not good enough to beat ASU.
Yeah.
Right? The Devils beat them this
They
last
did
weekend,
beat 'em.
knocked them off. But now they're going to go home this weekend to play Oklahoma State, and they're wondering whether or not the new rules are really going to work.
Oh, I think they will.
Yeah.
There might be a few people, though, few rule breakers,
be.
rebellious folk out there in the
Yeah.
stands.
Oh, I guarantee you, as you enter, they're going to be looking for tortillas. You know, most stadiums, you know, they're checking, make sure you don't have like a bomb or something.
gun,
Here,
yeah.
we're looking for tortillas.
Oh, brother. Come on.
People are like hiding tortillas, like under their clothes.
I know.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
should do a segment on how to make tortillas fresh.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
That would be really
Ooh.
good.
Yeah. Well,
That would
we
be
know the
really
guy who
good.
could get us a whole cooking set. Shall we approach him?
Oh, yeah.
A whole new cooking
Yeah,
set?
we would love a new cooking set.
Yeah, we would.
Is that Dave?
I
Oh, yeah.
wonder.
Big Dave.
Yeah. You got money in the budget for a cooking set, Dave?
Just all the money. We've got all the money.
I hope so. Each time we do the Dave Cam, that's an extra $15, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good point.
How
That's
much?
twice.
How much do we have in the petty cash?
Well, we racked up $45 for him yesterday.
Whoa, that-
He's already up to 30 right now, and you
my
never know when he might pop up in the last 5 minutes before Ty
Bonus.
comes in with Danielle. But you guys, I understood that we had some video of a runaway horse in in Tennessee, and all's well that ends well in this case. So let me just go to let's see, this is going to be VO 11. We have so many VOs here. Here it is. This is what you call a slow speed pursuit.
Oh, bro. Oh, my goodness.
right?
Oh, it's a horse. Look at the horse just enjoying the day.
Yeah, it's actually a beautiful horse right
Pretty
there.
majestic.
With that
Look at
flowing
that.
mane. Uh-huh.
Okay, is that a 2-lane highway or what's happening?
yeah,
So
I
this
think
is
so.
dangerous.
Sorta. Oh, they had another officer on the
Oh,
other
okay, they're
end.
stopping
They
traffic. They're
Stop traffic,
yeah.
yeah. And so, then here comes the other officer. Look, they're taking it's almost like a horse whisperer.
Well, did they bring like a carrot or like some apples? Because horses love carrots.
Really?
Yeah.
Would that be the number one food you would bring?
I think so.
Okay.
Every time I feed a horse, I bring carrots and they love them.
Yeah.
Maybe they brought a tortilla.
Maybe.
I'll tell you what this reminded me of, ladies. I was surprised the other day when I was chatting with some folks who had never heard about llama drama in the Valley.
Okay.
So this happened, if you can believe it, if you were living here 10 years ago, you no doubt recall it. It was way more exciting than that one horse in Franklin, Tennessee. So we're going to roll. We went back to the archives, And from 10 years ago, Sky Fox coverage of the llamas on the loose out in Sun City West. Look at them go.
Oh, jeez.
Llama drama.
This? Oh, look at this guy. You had local citizens who were, there's somebody in his van, somebody in a minivan who was going to try to stop it. Look at these guys. You actually
What do they think they're going to do?
Them? They had like 4 different volunteers. So in the end, they decided, let's bring in some actual cowpokes. Let's bring in some cowboys and let them lasso these guys and gently bring them back to their homes.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So hilarious.
By the way, we've been, look, see exactly what it did. And immediately the llama stopped. That was really interesting.
And look at his tail wagging. He's like, ha, I had quite the day.
I know. I saw a meme later that day. Somebody had a picture of one of the llamas in like a sports car. And he was sitting in the driver's seat, and the meme said something like, sit down, shut up, let's go.
Do you think the white llama's like, look, I'm not interested. And the dark llama's like, I want you. Like, I want to marry you. She's like, leave me alone.
Her.
Leave me alone. I'm ready to move on.
Could be, Celeste. Way to make it awkward. But I will just say.
It's totally normal for men to be the pursuers of the woman.
It's a good point.
You know, you want a man who's chivalrous and who's going to pursue you.
Right. We've already talked about lion breeding activity. Now we have to talk about llama breeding.
Thank you, Ron.
Llama drama.
But here's what's cool about it. We really have been streaming for 10 years. We had Samia. I remember working with Kinsey and Samia when we first started the whole streaming concept 10 years ago. And Samia, look, right here. Let's see if this one works with the lasso. Got him. Right there.
That's awesome video.
That was really good. Yeah, we flew Sky Fox overhead, but I remember Samia saying, hey, we have some llamas on the loose. Do you want to join for a couple of minutes? And it was so fun, you guys, everybody who's joining us on YouTube especially, because we can watch the numbers in real time as they go up. And it was like we had 20 people watching, then 30, then 80, then 100, then 200, then we were in the thousands because a lot of people had never seen anything quite like this before. And we're the streaming giants. Let's just call us what we are.
Yes.
Right? Well, Dave's cracking up about. Was that you laughing about that, Dave?
There's another 15.
Very factual.
Good. Another 15 bucks in the pot for Dave. Okay. So anyway, I guess we're already out of time, ladies.
What?
Anything else, Bella, you want to comment on today?
I really liked the llama drama.
Good.
No more llama drama for your mama.
Right? Okay. Well, now you're up to speed on what happened here 10 years ago.
Well, it's a great book series. I used to read those books to my kids.
Right?
Llama. Yes,
okay, good.
Yes.
That's
Thank
perfect.
you all for watching, though, and for hanging with us.
Yeah.
Have a great morning. And Ty and Anita are coming up, or Danielle. Ty and Danielle are up next.
See ya.
produce. That's how you normally do it every day. Oh, we're already fighting.
Look at this is Danielle's second day filling in, and she is just bossing everyone around.
Oh, okay. Sure. Whatever you call it. Doing your job maybe explains it a little bit better.
Well, wow.
Sorry, Steve.
Steve, we're
sorry.
Sorry you have to see mom and dad fight like that.
It's very uncomfortable. I've learned mechanisms from my childhood.
Haven't we all?
Do you need to talk about?
I know when the vacuum cleaner's on, everyone just go to their room.
Yeah.
Where's the vacuum in here? I don't even know where the storage closet is. Yes.
I'll make the sound.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Well, good morning, you guys. Happy Tuesday. Steve, thanks for hanging out with us.
He's like, what did I get
deeply
myself?
Inside joke between just my siblings and I. And I don't know why I went there, but that was very fun
I hope
for
they're
me.
watching. So
We're going to need them to call in.
Send this to them. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Oh, hello, Ty.
All right.
Happy Tuesday.
Let's get
Glad
this
to be
thing
here with
rolling.
you.
Why am I here?
Doing your job.
Well, you had a very interesting story. You had a great sit-down interview with ASU President Michael Crow, but it kind of was very timely, this interview.
It was, yeah. So for people that don't know, we have ASU All Access, a wonderful show that we're able to air once a week. We dive into a lot about the athletic department, but also the things that people don't know about ASU, all of the grants, the funds that go towards the research that help the ASU researchers plan moon missions, Mars missions, medical breakthroughs. I mean, the amount of things those research dollars go to that affect our every single day life that we have no idea about. So that's what ASU All Access is all about, just talking about all these incredible things that are happening at, this Tempe-based institution. So we were sitting down to talk with Dr. Crow for this sort of interview, just to talk about where the university stands at this point. As I'm headed in there, it breaks that ASU has now been included with 9 other institutions from the White House, from the Trump administration, on this educational compact that the White House wants these universities to sign. Originally, it was just these 9 schools. Elite institutions. We're talking about Vanderbilt, MIT, Dartmouth, and then University of Arizona, one of those 9 included in there. University of Arizona yesterday saying they will not sign on to this. So I asked Dr. Crow, okay, you've been sort of included in this at the last minute. How has this gone? He said he had a meeting with the White House on Friday.
Can we back up real quick?
Please, yes.
What did it entail? What did the White House basically, there's stipulations?
There's stipulations. So this is sort of a reworking, higher education, the Trump administration, they've been a little bit at odds throughout the last year. So this is sort of a reset on what they're going after right now. So a part of what this compact shows is that they want universities to implement ideological policies like removing factors of sex and ethnicity from admissions, foster vibrant marketplace of ideas on campus, no single ideology dominant, and then there's some gender definitions there. One of the other things, too, that's included on this would be a tuition freeze for 5 years. There's a bunch of little things. It's about 10 key points, but it's a bunch of little things. And what we're hearing from a lot of the university presidents that have chosen to not sign on to this is that it's about academic freedom. They don't necessarily disagree with every single bullet point by any means. Sure. They won't specify which ones they agree with, but they're saying is we need our academic freedom. We don't want to sign on to this. Now, the carrot and the stick here is they're saying if you sign on, the White House is saying, if you sign on to this, we're going to give you a lot. We're going to give you preferential treatment on those research dollars. Well, ASU last year, $364 million came from federal grants for research.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what price tag are we even talking here? Of like how much money is going to be going towards this type of stuff?
Exactly, and no one's saying that ASU or these other universities won't get this money if they don't sign. And they're also not necessarily saying they'll get more. It's just preferential treatment is the word that's being used here. So this is a challenging political situation and landscape for these presidents of these universities to try to navigate this sort of minefield of everything that's going on right now. And so I asked Dr. Crow about that. Do we have the sound, or are we?
We don't have the sound.
Okay, we don't have the sound. So
we did this morning on our.
Yeah, no. Well, I'll tell you what he said, because it was an interesting response. He said we're in the middle of that conversation. He talked about how they're focused on achieving the goals that President Trump has outlined for us to have an economy in which everybody's winning. And then he went on with saying, Dr. Crow is, about that negotiation he's having with him. He goes, I'm in there arguing about how to do that. I thought that was an interesting word choice he said about arguing. It sounds like these are some tough negotiations that they're all having with the White House.
We actually have that piece of sound. So we're going to play it out now, now, so you can hear exactly what Michael Crow had to say with your interview yesterday. Take a listen.
Well, we're kind of right in the middle of the conversations. I was in the meeting on Friday that the White House called, and it was a virtual meeting. What I'm focused on is how do we help the nation to achieve the goals that President Trump has outlined for us, which is to have an economy in which everybody's winning, to have an economy in which all boats can be floated, to have an economy which is the best, the most technologically advanced, the most successful. How do we make that happen? The universities are central to that. So I'm in there arguing about how to do that.
I just thought that was such an interesting word choice there. I'm in there arguing about how to do that. So there's definitely some, I think, tense negotiations happening here. University of Arizona, though, yesterday saying they're not going to sign up for this. They were given a deadline of yesterday to sign, which is why we got a lot of those responses. At the same time, there's also been reporting that the deadline's actually November 21st. They want these universities to sign. So I think the deadline part of this might be just sort of part of the negotiations. I think if U of A were tomorrow to say, you know what, we will sign it, I don't think the White House is saying, sorry, it's past the deadline.
Yeah, and what if they don't? I don't know if you have any insight on that. What if, a university, after they sign this, let's say ASU, and then they go back on one of their things that they signed off on, does that preferential treatment get taken away, or? That's
a really good point. So one of the things that they talked about here is that they want to be able to have the White House says that they want to have an anonymous poll of faculty, students, and staff every year to ensure that these universities are abiding by this compact if they were to sign this compact.
Okay.
So this poll would be going out, just making sure all those 10 points are being followed. If they didn't follow them,
can investigate or look into it,
and I think that's part of what's going on in these negotiations behind the scenes. U of A said they did actually propose counterpoints to the White House, so there are other documents out there. The White House is pretty much saying, maybe we can move it a little bit, but this is where it's at right now.
And so far, it sounds like only 2 universities have actually signed on to this. It was Vanderbilt and then University of Texas, Austin. Am I correct?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how many more do or do not, and what preferential treatment actually looks like.
Yeah, in the future.
In the future, something that U of A talked about, their president was saying that, these research grants should be given on a merit basis, not because we've agreed to a set of codes with the White House. And that's good for academia going forward if these grants are given out for the right causes as opposed to.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a job I would not want to be, the president of a university.
It's a tough one. It pays very well, though.
It does pay very well. But
he has a lot of titles under his name, Dr. Crow.
What's interesting right now, in light of all this, is how often does a university president historically have to offer up an opinion on the president of the United States? And that's what they're all trying to navigate. I mean, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't right now.
Exactly.
Everyone's mad at you no matter how you handle this, right? And so that was why I thought Dr. Crow's response was interesting. And I mean, he said, we're arguing about this. At the same time, we're trying to promote President Trump's policies to be able to make every part of this economy win.
He seemed pretty down the middle of the road.
You've got to thread the needle on this one, I think, with a very diverse student body of both conservative and liberal students.
So is it now just kind of wait and see? I guess moving forward with all of this, you really don't know exactly what's going to happen from it just because it's so brand new.
Absolutely. And this compact is really just something the last month that came up. So if the administration doesn't feel like this is working, no reason to believe that they wouldn't come up with a different strategy with higher education. It's clear higher education has become a priority for this administration and trying to get a lot of their policies into universities. And I mean, we saw with the federal funding cuts, the research grant cuts at the beginning of the year that had to be walked back. A lot of that walked back with
and tuition. Schools. It's huge because, these students walk into school paying a certain amount and then, even just the next year, a 20% increase or. Yeah. So
and that's part of what this compact would be, is it would freeze tuition for 5 years. You got to think there's a lot of people at home saying, sign the compact, sign the compact.
Right.
Yeah, when you have something like a tuition freeze there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that the deadline is already passed, but obviously they just kind of got this. So does ASU have a quote unquote deadline that the White House wants to hear from them on?
No one has told us what a deadline would be
Okay.
on that right now. That would just sort of be sourced reporting within the weeds of trying to figure out what
What's
those
going on.
conversations are. I think it's an open conversation right now on how to handle this. So to my knowledge, that Friday meeting that Dr. Crow said he was a part of virtually with the White House, that was their last conversation. I'm not sure if there's a new conversation set, though, if they're going to talk weekly or monthly or how they want to handle this. But where it's at right now is where it's at right now, and ASU hasn't said whether they would sign it or not.
All right. Danielle said she doesn't want you to leave without talking about
ASU football. I mean,
how about those Sun Devils?
So I worked Saturday. I filled in for Irene. She was off. And Steve obviously works Saturday. He's the morning anchor. And the second I saw him, I was like, Steve, are we going to do it? Because I was at the Utah game in Utah, and we got...
Have you dried out yet from that?
You know, I'm just now warming up.
Yeah.
It was awful.
So what I kept saying to everyone, and I'm a butterflies and rainbows about everything. I'm Mr. Positivity. A team can be down 75, and I'm like, this is the drive. This is it.
They're saying there's a chance.
But I will say, this is a really good tackling team. And then suddenly they go to Utah, and they can't tackle. So it was either...
It's cold.
I really do think...
Or it's cold.
This weather, it was shocking, too, because the days leading up to it in Salt Lake City, it was gorgeous. Yeah, chilly, but beautiful weather. And then all of a sudden, it was bone chill. It was so cold.
Did you have a jacket?
It just poured rain.
Did you come prepared?
No. You know, the only one who went prepared,
was your
and
daughter?
she'll let us know about it, is my 5-year-old daughter. Good job, Mom. She was wearing her little raincoat. She's like, see, Mom, I told you I needed to bring my raincoat. And I'm like,
Yeah, you did.
Yep, you sure
Were the
did.
Utah fans nice to you?
Yeah.
Dressed in all of your
Oh, yeah. No, they were, they were totally
it's kind
fine.
of a fun rivalry that's developed between Utah and ASU.
And it's...
the game really reminded me of, do you remember, was it 2013 when ASU was headed towards the college football playoff and they had to go up to Oregon State and play Taylor Kelly, and I think they were number 3 in the country, and everyone was like, ASU's going to the playoff. Oregon State's an awful team. And it was 18 degrees at kickoff. It was a night game in Corvallis.
Forget it.
Yeah, you could tell by the end of the game. I think there was a clip of DJ Foster, and he was just kind of like,
it's
just
moving around to stay warm.
Cold.
And I think, too, that the field there at Utah, it was so wet. Like, you could just see them, and it was awful.
Some
just
kids from Arizona,
awful.
Texas,
No.
they're not going to play well in those conditions.
We're good. So hopefully Saturday we have another amazing game.
Are you
Kickoff
going?
is at 5, of course.
Is your home?
It's home.
Yeah. Okay. I always forget the name of the new...
Mountain America Stadium.
That's what it's called, Mountain America Stadium.
So we will be
you guys
there.
really were in sync on that.
Yeah.
He wasn't even, you already knew the answer to the question that wasn't even
We're
asked.
happy mom and dad, Steve. This is from our early years of being happy.
Yep, together. Yep, the good old days.
Partners.
Before things
in love and life.
took south. Took south.
You can't even talk.
I can't even talk.
See?
I'm back to being uncomfortable again.
All right.
Turn the vacuum on. Cue the vacuum.
Go to my room.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Come back anytime.
Go Devils.
We've got a fun segment coming up next. We'll be right back.
Well, we're kind of right in the middle of the conversations. I was in the meeting on Friday.
All right. Oh, sorry, Josh. Josh is by himself.
Hey.
There's Josh Coddington.
He needs no introduction.
You know what? We're going to leave. You just take it away, Josh.
I'll just run right through it.
Oh, my
Josh
gosh.
Coddington is here from the Arizona Office of Tourism. And we love when you come in because even though, you know, we've lived here, a lot of us have lived here for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we don't know the cool stuff that is right in our own backyard.
Right, totally. And now is, of course, a great time of year to get out and explore because I feel like, of course, I'm going to say we always have great things to do in Arizona, but especially for Halloween and fall season, you know, of course, we have haunted houses, like those attractions that just spring up in October. But then we also have a lot of great like farms and places that do Halloween and pumpkin patches. And then, of course, we have the all year haunted ghost tours, haunted places. So really a lot of things to do this time of year.
And you guys have a passport. I did a story with you guys, I think about 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And you guys were looking for more nominations.
So we have this digital passport. It's called the Spooktacular Arizona Haunted Attractions Passport. And it really shows you how to go to all types of different places across the state to check these things out. And the coolest thing about it is that when you get it on your phone, it only takes like 2 minutes to sign up for. It can put you on a map, so it'll show you what's around you.
Oh, that's cool.
So even if you don't necessarily know what's around you, or if you're already on a trip and you're like, hey, let's do this, it'll show you on the map what's closest to you that is on our Spooktacular Passport.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And now this is so fun because there are kind of, I love this, believe it or not, or, you know, the ghost stories. This is the time of the year when that kind of stuff happens. And you guys have some really cool stuff. Do you want to start? What city do you want to start with?
So we can start with Flagstaff.
Let's start with Flagstaff.
That is a great one. We love Flagstaff. We love the Hotel Monte Vista, of course. It's part of every ghost tour in Flagstaff. It's one of those classic hotels. And it has kind of reports of, you know, noises, things moving on their own. You know, of course, these are reports from guests and from people that work there as well. They have a couple rooms that are supposed to be like the haunted rooms. And that's like room 305 or room 210
What happens
specifically.
Do you know, Josh?
So I don't have like specific crazy things that happen in your room, but apparently there is a spectral bellboy that will knock on your door. Or,
are you trying to boost tourism? Or?
I'm gonna say this is for people who want fun, you know, not terrorizing, but fun types of things to do.
He's a nice bellboy.
He's nice. And then there's the Monte Vista Lounge right here, which we're looking at. Now, this is the speakeasy in the basement of the Hotel Monte Vista.
Cool. Look at that.
So even if you don't have time to stay at the Monte Vista, you can always check out this place, which is called Monte V's also. And I mean, it's in the basement of a Frontier hotel. So, of course, you get a great speakeasy vibe from the Hotel Monte Vista, which is in, and you get to visit Flagstaff. So, of course, that's super cool.
Yeah. And you can just feel the colors, the history. It's when you're in that building.
And I think when you're really in the vibe of the haunted feel, then you're definitely going to get that. Now, this is another one I wanted to share. This is Reardon Mansion, which is State Historic Park. And I share this one because, first of all, to me, it looks like a palatial log cabin in the forest. So that's awesome. It's worth touring. But on Halloween or during the month of October, State Parks does tours at night.
That's
so,
cool.
Yes. And the way they bill them is they say these tours mix the factual with the fantastical.
Gotcha.
So, you know, they tell you the history. They tell you, you know, things that may have happened there, you know, based on different reports. So, again, if being in Flagstaff's not enough for spooky thoughts and feelings, go to a cabin in the woods and do a tour. And then you'll get the real spooky feel.
And that's right on NAU's campus, which is pretty shocking.
I didn't know that.
Oh, it's so cool because you're just walking around campus and then all of a sudden there's this massive
mansion.
That's how I stumbled upon it. And I was like, what the heck is this place?
Absolutely. State Parks,
so
State
fun.
Parks does so much stuff besides just simply manage the land. They have a lot of great old buildings, and Reardon Mansion is one of them that they decorated for Christmas as well. So it's a cool thing to do during this time of year.
All right. What's the next one you want to do?
I say we go to Bisbee next.
All right,
if you're
Bisbee.
ready, let's head to southern Arizona. Of course, Bisbee is a great place for haunted history. They have the old Bisbee ghost tours, which is one of the most popular things to do there. You get a ghost host who takes you through town, through back alleyways and staircases and different buildings that have various haunted stories associated with them. One of the best, of course, is right here, the Copper Queen Hotel, known as built during the heyday of the mining era. It hosted the well-to-do.
Look how cool it is.
I mean, it's a super cool place, and one of our favorite ghosts in this place is the Victorian woman who is right there. And again, not all ghosts are supposed to be scary. I mean, she has a great smile. She kind of has that look at you like, hey, I wonder what's going on with this person. And then, of course, you get the ones that are a little more scary, like a man smoking a pipe. I don't know if you can make that out there, but that's what people report. Maybe a little bit of a smell of that. So,
my goodness.
of course, if you see a ghost, you want him to be on a nice old staircase also. So there you go.
And how far, for folks out there who don't know, how far Bisbee is what? So
Bisbee, it's south of Tucson, so you're going to be probably a solid 3 hours from the valley. But Bisbee is also, again, another cool thing that I didn't include here, but Bisbee is also an official dark sky community as well. So that means, when you're out at night walking around, it just feels cool as well. This guy's actually part of the Bisbee Ghost Tours as well. And as you can see, he is totally into it.
Yeah,
so fun.
So, yeah.
It's kind of fun because you learn kind of the history, but you also get that kind of the spooky aspect of it too, which is.
And I believe in that stuff too.
Have you ever seen a ghost, Danielle?
I think so. I actually
Where?
At my grandmother's house. It's a little creepy.
Yeah. See,
so we were sleeping, me and my sister. We woke up. I think I had a stomach ache or something. My grandmother lived in San Francisco, and we go outside the room because we were going to go wake my grandma up. I don't think I was feeling good. And she had this like glass case with all these antiques, and it looked like she was leaning up against it.
Your grandma?
Smoking a cigarette, which is weird because you just said the cigarette situation.
Right.
And I had to look, and we call her Marnie. That's not her name, but we just called her Marnie. She didn't want to be called Grandma. She was a queen. And we're like, Marnie? And then she was in her bedroom, and she's like, what, girls? And we're like, and even my sister saw it too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
See?
It's spooktacular.
Yes.
So just go to Marnie's house in San Francisco if you guys want to be freaked out. It's a slight detour from Arizona, but you'll get there.
You'll get there. It'll be fun for sure.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Listen.
I don't believe in anything.
I have to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen a ghost.
Okay.
But not that I don't think that something could be.
Ty's the next one to stay in that room, okay?
Yeah, Ty,
yep.
we need to. You get like a before and after.
We'll make you a believer, Ty.
No, please don't. All right, what's the next one?
So why don't we go to Douglas next, which is also in southern Arizona.
I've never been to Douglas.
Yeah, me neither.
The Gadsden Hotel is a super cool one because it is really a part of the state's history. It burned down and was rebuilt. It has this cool Italian marble staircase inside that is really awesome to look at. And the ghost story here, see, there you go. Like, look at this lobby.
That is so pretty.
Perfect for the lobby.
Oh my gosh.
This is really a testament to the economic success of mining in Arizona and what it built and how it built to the state today, because this hotel was also built during that era, burned down and was rebuilt. And you can see how grandiose it is. Like, even if the outside doesn't necessarily belie what's inside, it's a very classic place. Of course, every cool place has a good tavern to go visit. The Saddle and Spur is the one at the Gadsden Hotel. And the main ghost story here is of a lover's love triangle between three people that apparently didn't end well for the participants in the love triangle.
All three?
All three, but they love the Gadsden Hotel, are still there, and apparently the love triangle remains unresolved.
Oh, no.
Day. So,
I have to say, those are some fancy ghosts.
I know, right?
That's where the fancy ones go.
You know, and that's what I will say about Arizona. Arizona ghosts is that they actually work all year.
Oh,
so it's not just for Halloween. You can go on a ghost tour or see these haunted places at any month of the year.
Oh, really? Do they have the ghost tours year-round too?
They do.
Oh,
That's what I wanted to say. One of the cool things about our passport is that we think of it as a Halloween thing, but really it's good for all year because we have all of these ghost tours, places you can visit. As well that go throughout the whole year. So we are not just haunted on Halloween. Our ghosts are the hardest working people in the business, and they are working every
Well,
day.
we got to be good at something, Josh.
Oh, that's cool. All right, what's the next one you want?
All right, let's go to Tucson and the Hotel Congress. Yep.
There we go.
Also Southern Arizona. Hotel Congress. Of course, I feel like every cool old hotel has a neon sign.
I was going to say.
Like on this old structure on top. I feel like that means this is a cool hotel, right?
And there are ghosts inside.
Yeah, and it's probably haunted. But the Hotel Congress was well known for the capture of members of the John Dillinger's gang, actually.
Oh. Wow.
That happened at the Hotel Congress. And John Dillinger himself actually was not captured there, but he was captured in Tucson as well. Now, I don't believe that they passed away there, but and this is our crazy green Slimer version picture of the Hotel Congress. Yes. Yeah, it's supposed to be like, wow, this is crazy, right?
It looks like you dropped acid.
Yeah, that's various,
Sounds like a Friday night, Ty.
Various experiences that one might have. You can get to your mindset of spooky and haunted however you like.
Okay, there you go. Open to interpretation.
Yeah, it's whatever you want, right? Another, of course, all these places I feel like have really cool bars as well, which may be part of the experience.
It might help the ghosts help you conjure the spirits after a couple of spirits.
You calm down a little bit.
It's all about spirits. That's all you got to think about.
It's either going to hype you up or take you down. One way.
It's going to do something for you. And so, people have reported maybe a rose-scented woman here.
I like that.
You smell her?
Yeah, you can smell. I feel like that's, as you were saying, Danielle, with the ghosts, like sometimes it's about his smell as much as what you see. So that's one thing. And the other thing is people from outside the hotel report sometimes that there's a man staring at you in the window as well.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's real or a ghost, but it's creepy either way.
Yeah.
Either way.
So that's kind of cool
So
as
fun.
well. Yeah.
Josh, we got about 1 minute left.
All right.
Last but not least, which one do you want to do?
So last but not least, we can do one that's a Halloween attraction.
Okay.
Which I say let's go to Marana, which is Terror in the Corn.
Oh, there it is.
That's
Okay.
that one right there. Now, this is a seasonal attraction, but what's cool about it is that it uses a large cornfield, which a lot of these farm ones do, but they have their haunted attractions built around the cornfield. So when you pay to go in, not only are you, in the middle of a cornfield in the dark, but you also have these 3 haunted attractions that are around, so you can kind of go through the cornfield, and there's some jump scares in there. This is the pumpkin patch, which they also have, but what you're really going for is the nighttime stuff.
Yeah.
So,
all right, 15 seconds left, Josh. How do we get that passport?
So the passport's easy to get. You just go to spooktacular.az.com. It takes about 2 minutes to sign up for it. It goes to your phone as a text message, and then you click a link, and boom, it works just like an app on your phone.
Josh, thank you.
Gotcha.
Well done. Well done.
Hi, everybody. Boy, I'm telling you, when the music ends around here, it ends.
And cue the mics. Right?
How's it going, Des? What's new? Tell us all about your day.
Good.
Yep.
We were out at the Crazy Cajun.
Yeah.
Seafood and hibachi.
Okay.
And
a winning combination, I would say.
I will say when I went out, like it's been 2 years, I think. We've been to their original location, Camelback in Central.
And where's this one?
This one, the new one in Tempe, it's Rule and Ray.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. It's bigger, too. So if you've ever visited the other location, it's a little bigger than that one.
Yeah.
Really, really nice, but amazing food. But originally I thought seafood and hibachi, I'm not sure, seafood boil and hibachi go together.
Right.
I mean,
wow.
Hands down, they have some of the best food that I think I've ever tasted.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you feel like you had been transported to New Orleans?
I think so. Yeah. Seafood boil is not something that I first think of when going out to eat.
Right.
But his is so good, and they have this special sauce where he makes, and the food just marinates in that. It's just delicious, and the owner is just a really nice guy, a dad, two little ones, and he opened his first location right after COVID. He was going through the whole process during COVID, and then opened in 2021. So he's just come such a long way, and it's really cool to be able to follow some of these business owners along sometime.
By the way, what is the first thing you think about if it's not seafood boil when you're going to go grab something?
What will the kids eat? That's the phase of life I'm in. What will they eat?
I have the most hilarious story. It's like a 10-second story, but we're having Thanksgiving about 3 years ago, and our little grandson Everett, who would have been about 4 at the time, Thanksgiving, Renee put on a huge spread. It was all delicious.
Yep, worked hard, slaved in the kitchen.
Yeah, he gets up from the kids' table and walks over to Renee, looks at her and says, "Do you have any food for children?" Which we all know what that means. Frozen nuggets, right? Or pizza.
Or mac and cheese. That's it. Mac and cheese, fries, chicken nuggets.
Right in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner. Do you have any food for children?
But he didn't even say me or kids. He said children.
Correct. He's amazing. He is amazing.
Kids are something.
I'll tell you a story that I think is really cool. And I would love to know who in our newsroom came up with that. But we had all this damage done now 10 days ago from the microburst. But we call these stories in our business sidebars. So you got the main story. The main headline is that there was just this devastating microburst. But the sidebar is all of the stories that spin off from that, including a sawmill that says, hey, you know what? Rather than all these trees just being chopped up and turned to sawdust, we can work with this. Kinsey Beach was out there and had this report.
Good morning, you guys. We've shown you the damage and destruction in Tempe over the last week. I mean, trees everywhere, if not hundreds of them split, pulled from the roots, falling on people's homes, landing inside of their living rooms. But now the question is, where do they go? There's about a dozen of them here behind me as One Valley Business is putting them to good use and making sure that they're not wasted. More than 40 tons of trees, these tree logs, have now been moved after last week's microburst. They've been unloaded here at Wine Glass Bar Sawmill. The mill's manager telling Fox 10 that they have made deals with landscapers to bring all of the trees here, have them dropped off, and now they'll be turned into lumber. Workers have now been sifting through the loads looking for straight, long logs suitable for slabbing.
Turnaround on that's about 10 days. We slowly raise the temperature so that the wood stays flat and even. And then we kick it up for the last 2 days to kill any potential bugs.
Now, once finished, the lumber will then be sold off to other businesses. Wine Glass Bar Sawmill is saying this is all about ecology and making sure that these precious natural resources don't go to waste. So all the logs here in this yard will then be moved into the sawmill. They turn them into beams, countertops, different furniture, so many different items, just so that none of them will go to waste. But yeah, yeah, you can see them here behind me. It's all about ecology and turning it into purpose. So I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Kins. So pretty cool to see something like that, Des, going on.
Yeah,
I mean,
it makes sense, right? Why waste? Why waste the resource?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart.
Well,
I just love how he sounded like you would expect a lumberjack to sound.
He did.
Real deep.
I love
like,
that.
He is a lumberjack.
I filed that away myself. I thought we need to bring him onto the show one day,
cool,
or have him live via Zoom or something along those lines. So, do you ever watch Chip and Joanna? I know you don't have really a lot of time to watch
the
TV,
TV is no longer mine, but yes, I used to love watching Chip and Joanna in my pastime.
Good. Well, guess what? Demo day with Chip. You know how we used to love demo day, tearing apart a house?
Yes.
Demo day at the White House started yesterday.
Yep.
And they've been literally demolishing the kind of the side that would be the far eastern side. There is a view of what it's supposed to look like. And there's a view of what it's going to look like in the snow. And this is really interesting.
Really
I mean, I think that the whole look, there's another view. This is going to be the new part of the White House. I was digging into it. So they're going to go, Des, from 30,000 square feet to 90,000 square feet, triple the size of this ballroom. And you were telling me it'll be enough to get almost 1,000 people in there if they want to really have a big event.
Yeah, I think he was speaking about it to reporters yesterday, and he said, yep, it will hold 999. And then he said something along the lines of like, I don't know, I just didn't feel like hitting that 1,000 number. I'm like, what? What's one more person? I'm sure it probably hold one more.
Look right there.
Yeah,
okay.
it's really nice.
Good. I like these sort of schematics here because it comes to us from whitehouse.gov. But holy cow. I remember as a kid going on a tour and you walk right into the East Room and it's big enough looking, but this is it's impressive. That's to say the least. President just wrapped up. Oh, here, hold on. Stand by. There we go. It just wrapped up a lunch meeting with the leading Republicans in the Senate. And right now, it doesn't look like we're any closer. But our poll question, what with this big meeting is, Trump and Thune, they had their meeting, and other key members on the GOP side, no. Is it time to cut a deal? No. 4% were in terms of get the government reopened, then work on Obamacare. Almost 60% say no and dump Obamacare, come up with a new plan. I don't know about these estimates. I've heard that it could be as much as $1 trillion in spending if they were to go all the way back to the previous level of spending. 37% are saying, look, how about all sides get together and work with the Democrats? Let's Republicans and Democrats together. How's it looking, Des, on YouTube? Oh, we just hit 1,000 votes.
Yeah, we just hit 1,000, and you can see 18% are voting for option number 1 here, 27% option 2, no, and dump Obamacare, come up with a new plan, and then 55% say yes, work with Democrats, all sides compromise.
Okay. So that's a chance for you to keep moving those poll numbers around. But since we're talking White House and the president, I thought this was really cool. And so let's go ahead and roll it. Our former president, you know, he had that cancer scare. And with the diagnosis of prostate cancer, he rang the bell yesterday to wrap up his treatment. Here we go. Yeah, I don't think it was probably that loud as it just appeared on your computer screens at home. There you go. But pretty... Whoa.
There you go.
That's enough of that. But we can tell you that they did, feel like his treatment was successful. And it was shortly after he left office that he revealed his prostate cancer diagnosis. And it looks like he's fully on the road to recovery. So
yeah, and it's a huge moment for cancer patients to be able to ring that bell. You know, his journey, seems a little maybe short. Hopefully they did take care of it.
Yeah,
well, I mean, what do we know? He could have been undergoing treatment for, however long, but hopefully they did get it.
And it reminds me, I mean, King Charles is dealing with some kind of cancer, and we don't know if that's prostate cancer or, colon cancer or whatever it might be. They've decided to be somewhat private about that. But still, you know what? When you're there and you're getting the treatment, you're just another patient in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And they had just announced his diagnosis in May. So May to now, that's a pretty short time frame. So hopefully, they were able to get that. Yeah.
When it comes to being healthy, this next story, Des, I knew this was one you were going to want to talk about. We didn't even kibitz about this earlier, but here we go. There's a new poll that says kids are not getting outside enough to have regular kid playtime activity like they used to, and it's really kind of concerning. Researchers at the University of Michigan say now that 1 in 10 toddlers venture outside to play at all once a week, or even less than that, maybe once every couple of weeks. This is on parents. The toddler, he or she can't tell you when they're 2 years old.
No. Can't drive themselves to the park.
Right.
Or
Yes.
be outside by themselves.
This is the part that amazes me. We're really talking about toddlers in this survey, which is 2 and 3 years old, right? Maybe 4. They start to grow up pretty fast. But now they're saying it's as much on the parents and their anxiety. And the researchers said parents need to worry less and let the kids get out there. And you know what? If they fall down and scrape their knee or whatever, that's just part of being a kid.
Yeah. You think it's that worry, like them getting hurt while playing, or is it an overall safety? Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. It's the cuts and bruises.
Well, and it's so much easier to just let them play on their phones or in front of a screen.
Yeah, no, that's not happening in our house.
Yeah. See, so you just set the rules early on, right?
Yeah, and it helps being in Arizona too, but even in Buffalo, I remember playing in the snow or going sledding. So there's, no matter where you live, there's still opportunity to get outdoors.
Right.
But yeah, no, I don't know. It definitely is on the parents. And it might be hard if you've got work or maybe a parent's working 2 jobs, we don't know. But overall, it's our job to get them out, get them playing. We try to go to the park every other day, which is kind of a lot, which is,
Well, we've got, you live in the East Valley. There are, I bet you there are 50 great parks.
There's so many good
that
parks.
You could go explore,
every single day is a tall order. But even on those off days, just taking a walk around the block, now that the weather's nice, especially.
Right. Yeah.
But pool time in the summer, whatever.
D3's getting out there on the grass, starting to play youth football already.
This kid is scoring touchdowns left and right. He had his first game of the season Sunday, and he goes, "Mommy, I got 3 touchdowns, like D3. I go, yes, you did, honey. Good job.
Okay, remember you heard about his football career here first. It's Mystery Cam time. Where's this? Give us your guesses, everybody. And so where do you suppose our mystery cam is, Des? Let's just take a look here. You're seeing some guesses, right? Yeah.
Yeah, a little philosophy. Connecticut?
Mm-hmm.
Question. Who's the next one now? Is it
Halakita. Oh, is with Wisconsin. I was kind of thinking Wisconsin. There's a bridge like that in Green Bay, but it just reminds me of a bridge in Green Bay. It's probably not the very same bridge, but I think I am going to go Wisconsin. It appears to be colder, does it not?
Yeah,
this doesn't look like
and the
sunny
leaves aren't
Miami.
Like fully changed in the bottom left, but they look definitely like a little yellow.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So
Michigan?
I'm going. Okay. Good. We got a Michigan, we got a Wisconsin, and we got a Desiree Fluellen with the answer. Here we go. Everybody.
And the answer is Ron is right. Green Bay.
Is the actual.
It is.
Let me go back here. Okay. Maybe what I've seen is a camera from the other side, from a different angle, but I did just post the other day. Did you see that post I did?
Good.
Remembering when it's been 10 years now since I took my dad to a Green Bay Packer football game.
Oh, how special.
Being football fans, we just heard people over the years say, well, try once in your life.
Yeah.
And
How
I'm so
was
glad
it?
we did. It was really great. It's so different than every other, not that I've been to a bunch of NFL stadiums. I mostly go to college stadiums like Michigan last week when Washington played Michigan. And that is an amazing place to see a game. But it almost, because it's a small town, you're just driving around a small town, then you take a right into this kind of random neighborhood, and here's this massive football stadium.
Wow.
But so it's more in the setting of where you'd expect to see a high school stadium, except it's the Green Bay Packers NFL Taj Mahal. It's really cool.
Did you guys get a cheese head?
No.
Okay, you didn't go that far.
Right. And the funny thing was my dad only has Washington Husky gear.
Oh,
And so he was wearing his Husky gear, but people were thinking, because it's purple, well, the Green Bay Packers' arch rivals are the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
They are
were
also
thinking
purple. So he was the only purple hat in the whole. So I said, Dad, at halftime, I said, I'm going to go down to the concourse and buy you a Green Bay Packer hat.
Did you?
Oh,
Did he wear it?
Oh, yeah. I got to find it and show
You're
you
like,
the
you got to take
pics.
that hat off now.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so anyway, we are set now for a great interview that we've been looking forward to talk about. There was a study that came out not too long ago, Des, that was just talking about how we as Americans, you and I represent two different demographic groups. Me closer to retirement, you just starting to think about what you even wanted to
Dang,
look
Ron,
like.
you want to switch?
But the folks at John Hancock, one of the big, well-known names when it comes to financial planning. So we have Lindsay Hansen joining us today via Zoom. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, Ron. Hi, Desiree.
Hi. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, for sure. What's your takeaway from this big study, and what do people need to really start to focus on if they want to have a good retirement?
Yeah, it's a great question. And it's, when we took a look at how we're helping our customers prepare for longevity, we were looking at just maybe aspects of financial savings or looking at the aspects of health. What this longevity preparedness index allows us to do is look at 8 different domains of how Americans need to start to prepare, and really taking a look at daily activities, life transitions, so many different aspects. So our report breaks down not only what is behind it and what did Americans tell us, but what are some very actionable items that people can start to take now to be more prepared for what's coming next.
Yeah, because in your in this index and part of the survey here, so you took the survey of more than 1,300 adults, and what is fascinating to me is that on average they scored 60 out of 100 overall. You say in revealing that they are underprepared for longer lives, falling short in critical areas like care, housing, finance, and health. That's kind of scary when we hear that, Lindsay, because, how do you live without any one of those aspects? So how do we prepare ourselves?
It's a great question, Desiree, and that's exactly what we looked at to say, you named 4 of the 8 domains, and in 4 of them, we were below that score. Americans were below that score. And so how you start to prepare is really starting to have the conversations with your family, with your loved ones about what does care look like when you are preparing for your longevity, when you go past that age of 65, when you are looking at your retirement years, when you are looking at older ages. What does care look like? And have we had those conversations? What does health look like in future years? Who's going to help you with those daily activities? So those are things that we encourage, just really changing and starting a different conversation, maybe one that we're not having around the dinner table today, or we're not talking to our loved ones about.
And I also think that you really have a hot button issue on your hands when you mention housing, because everybody feels like housing's too expensive. Interest rates are coming down, but they're still too high, and so people need to think about this kind of longer term. Other than those who are so fortunate that they end up living in the same town for most of their lives, and they bought a house maybe 20 years ago when it was so much more affordable, and they're going to have it paid off by the time they get into retirement. For everybody else, that's maybe 10% of the population. What should they know?
Should really know that home is one aspect, but it's very closely related to community, where you live, how close you are to, say, the local library, the local grocery store, the local market, and being able to maybe make that walkable for you, or being able to get more involved in the community. That's one of the things that we focused on a lot with the MIT Age Lab, is making sure that the social connectivity is a part of where you look for your home. That's just as important as not only where it is, whether you bought 20 years ago or not. How connected can you be in with the community that you're in? And then what are the aspects within your home that can help make it easier as you age?
And Lindsay, I don't know, this might be a difficult question to answer, but let's say you're between the ages of 60, 65. You sit down, you take a look at your retirement and what you have, and you just look and you don't see the financial. There isn't enough saved to where you see yourself being able to leave work. At that point in time, is it too late? And if not, what do you do if you are older and you don't have the finances that you would like moving into retirement?
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting question, and one that we've looked a lot about, with John Hancock being an organization that serves both life insurance, retirement, financial services, and wealth asset management. We like to look at how we can help Americans at any stage. But if you are in that situation, Desiree, that you just described, it's really important to, again, have that conversation, talking with a family member, talking with a financial advisor or a planner, and understanding what are the needs and why are those the needs that I have, and what is some actions that I can take now. I think what's really interesting is that the fastest growing population for us as Americans is over that age of 65. And so we are actually at a great time where we can rewrite, is that the retirement age that was set over 100 years ago, that's our retirement age? There may be new opportunities that are coming up at that age for people to try different things, develop a new skill, and still be able to continue on with their savings.
Boy, that's some really good advice. All right, Lindsay. By the way, is there a website that people should go to if they want to learn more about the study and maybe steps they can take?
Yes, thank you for asking, Ron. If you go to johnhancock.com/prepare4better, that's where you can find not only the report, and it's a nice summation of everything we've talked about, but also within each of the 8 domains, it breaks down very actionable items that everyone can take to start on their journey.
Love it. Okay. A lot of good, solid info in there, Des.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And, one of the things you might want to stand by. One of the things I think you might want to think about is sort of, this is why I think people love retiring here, at least whether they're snowbirds or full-time, is all the sports.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to spring training games if you love hockey, if you love basketball, baseball.
And the weather,
we got it all.
The weather, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the summers are hot, but I just think about my parents stuck in Buffalo, and as they age, it's hard to even just move around. As you get older in the winter. And their study is fascinating. Women are outpacing men in most domains too. They have here. They have some interesting bullet points broken down in this. Yeah.
Also, I think that's a good tie into what's happening in downtown Phoenix right now, because guess who's coming to town tomorrow? The Sacramento Kings. It's time to start the Suns' new season.
All right, let's do it.
It's going to require some adjustment, because both Bradley Beal and KD, the whole experiment of having 3 superstars on one team, it just never worked. Kind of bums me out.
Yeah, and you wonder, is it 3 superstars or was it just them? I mean, just because they're all superstars doesn't mean that they're going to vibe together.
Yeah,
you know,
it's actually tough. I think that's what we learned.
Right. I think harder. Yeah. I mean, you got a little bit of the Nico, at that stage, which you should.
And KD, we loved having him here in the Valley. But look, they're going to build a team around Devin Booker. By the way, he signed, where's my Devin Booker? There we go. He signed a $145 million 2-year deal. So if you do the math on that, and I'm no math whiz, Des, but I believe it's around $70 million a year.
Not bad.
It keeps him here through 2030, and we're all glad about that. But if you are going to the games, be sure to check out the cool new food options. I think this is one that a lot of folks are going to love.
Good morning. Yeah, there's nothing better than having the Suns back in town, but also you get some good food, some good drinks while you're watching the game. A big season home opener here on Wednesday, you guys. It's a little calm before the storm right now. It's a big week ahead, but we're talking this new menu. I have Chef Otis here to give us the rundown. They've laid out beautiful spread. Basketball is back.
Yes, we're very excited. We've got a lovely new menu this year. Starting right here, we've got our loaded dirty fry. This has carne asada, guacamole. It's in a souvenir basket bowl.
Oh, so you get to take this home?
Yes, this is one of those things you can take away with you once you finish your fries.
How cool is that? That's the kids' new cereal bowl, I think, for a lot of kiddos when they wake up in the morning, all the Suns fans out there. All right, this is a name we know and love here, Randy's Donuts, and I think these donuts are as big as a basketball, Chef.
Yeah, these are our jumbo glazed donuts from Randy's Donuts. Obviously, they're very basketball focused, and we have them in several different spots around the arena.
So fun. A great sweet treat to have, maybe a shareable option as well. As we move over here, this is a fun twist, Pimento Crunch Burger. Break this down for me.
Yes, so this is our Pimento Crunch Burger. It's got crispy fried onions on it. Our team here, we worked on this new recipe. This will be featured in the Gorilla Grill up in the Fry's Eatery.
Wow. What are those conversations like when you guys are drafting a new menu? How creative you're going to get?
You know, we're always pushing for innovation, new items to mix up the menu. We want to keep it exciting for the fans to come and see what's new.
Yeah, it's so much fun as well. Okay, Pimento Crunch Burger. Then, you guys, the star of the show. We're not at the State Fair. We're at the Mortgage Matchup Center here. Oh, let's begin here, Chef.
Okay, so we have a foot-long corn dog, and it's loaded. So it's got all the toppings on top of it, even a little bit of the Cheeto Flaming Hot Cheeto Crunch.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, I see a crunch with all these themes. And then this, oh, my gosh, a turkey leg?
Yes, so we wanted to go a little bit nostalgic. This is a smoked turkey leg. You get 2 of them in order with the mac and cheese and chorizo and the corn ribettes right there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so add that
if
to
you're
your
sitting next to me at a basketball game eating that, I'm going to lean over and take a bite.
Because it smells too good otherwise. Oh, it's going to be a fun season for the Suns. There's Green Bay right now. Thank you,